DreamHack Masters Stockholm.
Yes, indeed, it will be Grayhound Gaming starting on the CT side and Astralis on that T side. And already Gratisfaction, he might actually be run boosted upon here. As the jump coming out, it's very hard for him to do anything. He does get back around the corner, but if he'd been checking underpass then, probably would have been dead. So pretty good retreat. That says a lot about where so many of the players are. So good amount of info there for the CT side. It's Dexter starting off with a good kill on Device, and they're inside the smoke hiding. He can't really see anything. He's going to go down. Dupree able to pick up that kill. So it's an even trade for now. Make is coming up close range. That clock, so many bullets. Picking up another kill and taking down Gratisfaction. And now it's a 2-1-3. The bomb not even down yet. They're not really trying for it. Just waiting to see if they have the control.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to find it, at least for the moment. Oh, that's a great pair of headshots, but Zipnix, this is the final boss of a clutch.
City is hiding behind. Great double kill. Actually, a triple for Malta right now. Just needs one more, and he knows Sip is behind there. Can't really allow him to escape, so he's got the high ground advantage. Looking for that one tap. He's picked up a USP on the other side, and Sip is playing with him right now. Just hiding behind the box. This is so frustrating to watch, and now he's made it back into CT spawn. This is such a big problem. No smoke to force him out. He's low on health, and Sip is playing this one perfectly. The headshot to follow it up, and they're going to win the round.
And he just chips him down behind that box. Doesn't even commit to the fight. Doesn't overexpose himself to one bullet headshot from that USP. That's the one thing that could have won Grayhound Gaming that round. And Zipnix does so well. Great job from Matt, just close up behind the smoke. And actually, a very tough setup. You have to admire. I mean, Dexter and Fates were playing a really awkward setup in that 8 bomb site, where Dexter at that triple boxes just had nowhere to go. He was pinned down from Palace, so if he falls too far back behind the box, he's just taken out. A very close round, and Gratisfaction going to miss the jump, and he might be left out in the cold here.
Yeah, a bit heartbreaking, but you still have to kind of admire the fact that he tried it. He saw the smoke and he realized, okay, I could either be irrelevant with this scout, or I can really try and double up on it. And he didn't really get what he wanted, but I kind of like the attempt anyway.
Problem with that kind of aggression when it's only like, you know, especially, I mean, fair play, he did miss the jump, so the idea is kind of ruined from the start, but you have a couple players getting aggressive in mid and 3 players kind of playing it passively. You've invested a lot into this round with the Scout and the Deagles, and when you lose 2 players that suddenly with like no real plan to kind of trade those kills, it almost feels like a waste of that economy, you know? Now when they go to the 4th round, it's like, well, we're not going to have some of these nades, and what was it all really for?
Yeah, it's not been made quite clear at the moment. Dexter is just ready and waiting. Fair amount of damage. He wish he could have finished that kill. Oh, the knife in the 2nd round. Dupree coming up with it. They have the Astralis logo on the notebook, Moses. That's how organized they are now. Look at Sonic.
Well, man, if that's the bar we're setting for pro teams, you know, it's pretty low.
Listen, it's just a symptom, isn't it, Moses? It's attention to detail. So little things.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's an Astralis pen. If not, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, pens would be the next logical thing, wouldn't it? Stickers, pens, and magnets.
And that major is easily won at that point.
Letter openers, all the tricks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So they didn't really get much out of that round. In fact, nothing at all. Now they've got the single flashbang that we all love. See if they could put it high in the sky and maybe catch somebody. Device jumping into the fire. Oh no! He's going to go down to Fates, and now it's a 4-on-5. Good recovery there, but what a headshot. That's a USP as well.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be able to get too much from here. Now Zipnix is going to be able to recover nicely. Does miss the 1 player in connector. Duck down, staying hidden. Still shouldn't be too much damage coming out of Dexter. Him and Malta are going to be split as well. So yeah, these pistols should not be able to get anything done. Malta's been spotted. They know where Dexter is, and he's gone. It's going to be 3-0, and now we get into the gun rounds. A little bit of damage done by Grayhound, but nothing to really write home about.
No, just a moment of impact where they could have done something. It could have been interesting. Obviously, the failed jump from Device into the fire is never a good thing.
That was a bit awkward.
Don't want to be doing that at any point where it really matters. Tech issue, as we are just briefly paused. Should be getting back into the game, I think, pretty quickly. So, yeah, now it's the big chance here for Grayhound Gaming to be picking up a round early on before Astralis start to run away with it too much.
That's always the question, right? Like, if you are going to cause an upset, if you are going to cause some kind of a scare, we've seen Grayhound do in the past. I think we were talking before this went live at IEM Sydney. They were the team that kind of surprised us with a couple of very close games. I think they were the one where it was Rush, I think, from Cloud9 who had that incredible, like, 1 versus 3 clutch on Inferno in, like, some kind of an overtime contest. But that map did eventually get stolen away from Grayhound. But either way, I mean, this 4th round does get so important, especially for the CT side. Like, you always feel good, like, starting on CT side, but if you lose this 4th round after pistol, it makes you feel very uncomfortable.
On a map like Mirage, definitely can come back to haunt you quite a bit.
And Gratisfaction's going to have an AWP. He's going to have no armor. And remember, he's the one who also bought that scout and missed the jump in the second round. So there's that investment that kind of went nowhere, and he's going to get punished for it. So we'll see how they kind of handle that disadvantage situation.
I always think the first couple of rounds on a map like this one just make such a big difference for how the CTs decide to hold that middle part of the map. Because there are obviously many different philosophies. We've seen Gratisfaction sort of try and make that jump out, and even the last round, they were a little bit aggressive on Catwalk too. There are some CT teams that just give up on the middle part of the map, and they just try and hold Catwalk and Connector, and that's it. And they don't really give much attention to it. And other teams will, push 3 men to top mid to try and fight it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a team like Astralis, if you give them the middle for free,
they're going to destroy you.
That's a bad choice, right?
Yeah, they're going to rip you apart. Just go word. It is just a little bit of team speak issues as they get that fixed up. What do you think about the bathrobe apparel from Grayhounds?
I think it's cool. I like it, and I like the idea that Alex had with bringing some hoods to it, bringing hoodies to it, so you can get that that boxing feeling.
Okay, yeah.
I appreciate that. I think it's not a bad idea.
What's the one piece of apparel you think is missing from team merchandising?
From team merchandising,
yeah.
Crocs. I think somebody should try and get a Crocs sponsorship, and that'd be.
I think Stun is gonna love you for that one.
Yeah,
Stun is a big Crocs fan. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. I don't think he's gonna appreciate you saying that.
No, he's probably not. I'm probably gonna get some words from that one.
It doesn't really go so well with his whole image, does it? Like ex-infantry, all that stuff. Crocs. Doesn't feel quite right.
It's a good point. On the other hand, I think he could maybe, if anyone's going to be able to pull off Crocs, because let's be honest, no one looks good in Crocs.
No, it's not really.
But if anyone's going to pull it off, I feel like it would be Trace.
I don't know what. I mean, I still there's stuff out there, right? Where are the team sunglasses? Surely you could get like a team logo
I've seen logos on sunglasses.
Yeah,
they do some of the like the cheap like plastic ones that are like $10 at a Walmart or something like that. I've seen them.
So there's something to work on right there.
Yeah. I
wish I could get sunglasses, but my head is so wide that, that they don't really fit. It's actually you laugh, but it's it's a continuous problem in my life, Moses.
It's funny, and I'll probably hear some words about this one as well because I'm going to throw him under the bus. But Dan had that same issue, DDK.
Yeah, Dan.
It's the opposite direction. His head is a little bit smaller for the average pair of sunglasses.
So if Dan and I had a child, it'd be perfect.
The head would be perfect.
Mentally be way off, but yeah, it's good. I'm scheduled to do to be on Dan's podcast at one point.
Oh,
more people should watch that.
That's terrifying.
It's going to be absolutely mental. I can promise that. We're going to get way off course.
Yeah, you guys will get sidetracked very, very easily.
Yes. So,
yeah, he does have a very good podcast though, and it's cool. He does it on Spotify as well. I actually have it as well. Listen to it on the plane on the way over. Some very cool. He just did one with Scoots. Haven't listened to it yet, but that's going to be interesting. Probably talking mostly about the Players Union, so if you're interested in any of that, be just sure to check out. And what is it, like chatting DDK with, chatting esports with DDK? Something weird?
Jeff, I mean,
does he have a cool name to it?
Just follow Dan on social media, you'll find it. It's easy, but you should definitely check it out. Yeah, I think there's room for a lot of stuff, Moses, here that we still haven't really got into. Surely smartwatches, they have like wristbands, don't they? Like those bands can be exchanged on all of them, so you can get like a logo on there. I didn't know that. I didn't know smartwatches was still something that was like attempting to be a thing. I thought we pretty much, we kind of closed the book on those. No, not at all. It's still in high gear.
Okay.
Don't worry, they're not going to give up on that yet.
They have invested quite a bit of money into it.
They have invested a lot into it.
What about like a smart belt?
Smart belt?
Yeah, I don't know what it would do. I'm just spitballing here.
What if it had a direct connection to your mobile phone, obviously, because it's smart enabled, and it'll tell you your waist size if it grows or like along the day, so you can sort of see if you're eating too much, it's gonna expand.
Like you should go to the next hole and stop eating.
Exactly. Yeah. So just give you a bit of warning, like we're up like a quarter of an inch here. It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not a great day.
That kind of thing. That could be something.
I like that.
I mean, probably you could probably get your pulse from that. So there'd be something there, maybe.
Yeah, pulse from your stomach. This is about the appropriate time to go to a short break. So we're
Oh,
gonna
we're
head
onto
off
something.
and we'll think it up and we'll be back shortly.
Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get ready with the game again. Of course, we're on Mirage, first game of the tournament. So,
First game of this season of Counter-Strike.
Yes,
essentially.
indeed.
Yeah.
I really look forward to it. We didn't really get to see too much, but obviously Astralis winning the first 3 rounds, which means our Grayhound have a chance to pick up rifles, see what they can do in the 4th round.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's going to be exciting. We all know that they need to get off to a good start.
They need to have some like miraculous heroics very early on. They need to establish some economy in these next 3 rounds, and essentially they just need to start winning immediately. They need to build up some kind of a bank, some kind of an advantage that they can have over Astralis in the early going of this game. It is 3-0 Device with his AWP. You imagine he's going to be so tough for Gratisfaction to handle. He's made the jump this time. He did miss it earlier. But look at Astralis setting up for an execute at this 8-bomb site. They're giving up the map. They're just going to march right into this.
Yeah, but look at the information he's getting, Gratisfaction. There are 3 smokes in the middle, and he's realizing by now, well, no one's actually showing up. Now when they see the grenades on A, they should be able to put 2 and 2 together and realize exactly what's coming. A bit of a smoke there to block off the vision from the stairwell, and more grenades raining in. Astralis really using almost all of their grenades to just try and get onto the bomb site, which means in the afterplant, they're not going to have that many, and that could be a big problem. Good kill, though. Sid taking down Malta.
This is such a nice execute from Astralis, and this is what I was talking about. Just keep things simple. They know Grayhound doesn't have the counter utility to push through the smokes, and they know they certainly don't have that or the kits for the post plant. And with the man advantage now, I think Greyhound's just got a call for the save. They've got no leg to stand on in this retake.
They take down Glaive. And actually, did he have the Molotov, or did they already use it? I feel like Astralis had one somewhere, but can't see it currently picked up. There's Fates going down, and Meg is going to be taking down Gratisfaction. That's the AWP gone. So now I bet they wish they'd taken you up on that safe call, Moses, because there's a bit of a problem. Dexter doing his best, and he's going to take a couple of people with him. It's just not going to be enough. It'll be Astralis winning round number 4, and this is a big problem.
It's a very big problem losing all of that, and that's why you think you call the save at the moment when you're in a 4-on-5 and you've lost the bomb site and the plant's already 10 seconds gone. You just don't really have anything to do, and if Astralis is just going to perch up device with an AWP for a post plant on that A ramp, and you don't have a smoke for it, you're not getting by. You're going to take too many losses from him alone. Now back to pistols for Grayhound. And here's that mid control coming in for Astralis, and this time a bit more aggressive as Glaive picks up the pace and marches his way towards the smokes on Catwalk.
Playing close with the P250, obviously a good pistol for it. Within one-shot range almost all the time here, so if he'd hit the headshot there on Glaive, that would have been enough for a kill. But that doesn't really happen. Oh, but Fates is going to be taking down Device. No problem, that Deagle ringing true for the 1 kill. The rest of it is not really going to be working out for Dick Stacy, just hiding inside of the B-bomb site. Don't think there was much that he could have done anyway, so can't really blame him all that much. I wonder if there was anything in that last round where they had the AWP and Gratisfaction had sort of cleared middle. Could they have done more to be quicker on A? Could they have seen it coming? Or were they pretty much playing to the information that they had?
I think they were just kind of playing to the information they had. It's always tough to kind of call that one out, but it is a good effort out of them. I think the tough part is Astralis is just they're so very good at just kind of coordinating when 2 prongs of an attack are coming in, right? So even if you read it, it's always a very hard situation. Here is some aggression on A ramp, and this is going to be fast-paced. Look at this. This is going to be marching right up towards that smoke and connector. Gratisfaction peering over. He's playing it differently, and unfortunately, Astralis is heading towards him in a completely different fashion. He's going to get caught off guard.
He knows. He had that feeling, you could tell. And they are right on the other side, boosting inside of the window. Dupree with the Galil going to win that fight against Fates, and that's a bit of a problem. Flashbang, Dexter did turn around for it, but you can tell Gratisfaction is very scared. They might be coming in from any direction right now. Dexter wants to get close. He's going to be taking down Device. That's a big win. And now he's up in the apartments. That actually maybe could slow down Astralis a fair bit. The follow-up Molotov as well. And Malta going to be taking down Dupree. Glaive finally bringing it back a little bit, but it's still a 3-on-3. Health advantage for Astralis.
Dick Stacy has been flanking this whole time, and that was a big piece of the information that allowed Grayhound to be so confident in this A bomb site. But he went so far. He thinks they're committing. Plenty of time on the clock because of how aggressive Astralis was. Magisk now turns into a lurker, and he's going to play this so well. He's going to get at least 1, but he misses the shot. That was a low HP player. Dexter going to go down anyways. Beautiful work from Magisk, and the round, again, is over. But it seemed like Grayhound actually played that one so smart. It's just all taken away by Astralis.
Yeah, they slowed it down in that 3-on-3. They just decided, let's just push the pause button and wait for a while. And that really paid off.
And you have the luxury of that because Astralis obviously isn't scared to do anything aggressive or quick-paced at the start of the round, right? They're getting into action very, very quick, very early. And you could see, I think, at certain points, players from Grayhound just felt, very comfortable in the kills that they had gotten. I think actually Dexter made a great play. He gets that kill in Palace, and he pushes in. Now, Astralis thinks he's going to hold that, because that would have been the smartest play if he just stays up there, right? Because that becomes so hard to take the A bomb site. When he kind of comes out, it's a bit overexposed, but you like the play overall. And obviously the flank from Dick Stacy that turns out to not really be the winning recipe, but certainly gave them some information.
Yeah, this round, they're playing against couple of upgraded pistols. Bit of a failed Molotov, I think. They maybe wanted, or maybe they want to check corner. I thought they already had one there. Did they throw the Molotov down the ladder from all the way back in the hallways? Did they really bounce it? I mean, there's a new corner in that, remember? They changed the map slightly.
Okay.
So I saw they were lining up. I kind of wish I could see a replay of that. Because
I didn't catch it.
Normally you actually get to get quite close to the to the actual balcony before you can throw that Molotov. So if they figured out a way to throw it without any exposure at all, that's kind of interesting. I almost feel like they've had to, because I don't know where that would have come from. I have to go back and watch replay now. I'll have to do actual work.
We'll keep our eyes on it next time. They're shame on them for making you earn that paycheck.
How dare they?
Well, oh, that's not great. They know there's aggression. He's caught out, and yeah, Malta's not going anywhere. Dupree's able to take him down, and just not quick enough getting out of the window. And now again, just such an early advantage. And look at Dupree picking up the pace, even reading the position. No ammo to really spam this. He's out of bullets. Fates is still going to take a decent amount of damage, but again, just massive control to Astralis 20 seconds into the round.
It's even worse. He jumps out the window, and when he lands on the low ground, there's a smoke behind him, so his teammate can't even help him.
Yep.
They were up there, and they were in connector, but they were smoked out. Gratisfaction going to be taken down. Device. That is good news. Big Stacy inside of the B-bomb side. That's a good adjustment, but Dupree's going to hit that instantaneous headshot. Fate's now coming in. Very nervous, and he should be. Make's on top of the truck, already taking him down. And now there should be a free bomb plant. And how do you retake this with no grenades and an AWP?
Gratisfaction needs to hold the op and just mark it with an angle held, and now he's kind of committed almost too far. But really, he can't do anything until his teammate Dexter comes in on the flank. They need to decide, one, if they're going to go for it, and two, Dexter has to be the one to make the initial contact. You're not getting out of this market against 3 players with an AWP, and I think they're going to call for the save here. Setting up perhaps for some exit kills, but that's not going to do anything. The economy of Astralis is just too strong. They found the position of the op, and now they know it's a save as well, so they can start evacuating and going on the hunt.
Yeah, gonna go see if they could find somebody. Gonna be a quick kill there. Again, taking a couple of rifles away, but I don't think Astralis really care all that much at the moment. It's 8-0 in favor of them, and yeah, I don't know. That mid control right now, we sort of talked about how some teams try and fight for it and some teams don't. It seems like Grayhound want to fight for it, but Astralis are there so quickly.
It seems, I mean, I'd like to say so, but it's a little bit of like a... It's not really like the strongest attempt we've seen at like mid-control from the CT side, is it? Like we've seen Gratisfaction jump out towards Catwalk a number of times with the op. That time was a jump out towards Underpass. They need to, if they're actually going to go for that, right? They need to get some bodies pushing up mid. Have that support in the back. Do a full take on the CT side. I mean, and it's weird because you know what they're afraid of, right? It's that Astralis is going to call some kind of a change because they've had mid-control and just go for like a straight A execute immediately, whatever it might be, and they're kind of afraid of that counter. But at this point, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You're down 0-8. Might as well just go for something. Be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, so brief timeout here to see if could get things back on track. I think there was just a little bit of a hiccup on the server, so should be good to go in a couple of seconds, I believe. Now, I mean, I kind of wish they would do that too. I feel like they're the team, as far as I've seen them play so far. They kind of need to play like that, right? Like they don't do too well. Maybe with a stand-in as well. It could be pretty hard on the CT side to try and play your default, you know, defensively. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I mean, at this point, you just need to kind of go for it. If you can't sit back against this, even the best teams in the world can't just sit back and let Astralis kind of dictate everything that happens across the map. So you need to try and have an impact. You need to try and have some kind of an influence on what Astralis can do and at least shut some options down to them. And I think Greyhound's going to have to buy here as well. They have players sitting around, you know, mid, like $35,000 to $4,000. Gratisfaction and Dexter can each drop an M4 over. It'll limit their utility, but you'll have a couple solid buys to help you out. That way you can have at least 4 rifles. And you kind of go from there, but you need to fight for some of these rounds down the stretch.
See if they're going to be able to. It's obviously an unbelievably rough start. 8 rounds, even if Astralis lost the next 7 in a row and it was 8-7, they'd still be shrugging and saying, all right, cool. Yeah. 8 is enough on T-side Mirage, so no trouble whatsoever.
This is where the point that Chad brought up on the desk, though, that was, I believe it was Chad, that was a very good point, is if you're Astralis, there's no reason for you to take any risks. Like, you know, a lot of teams, you're up 8-0, it's Grayhound Gaming, you kind of know that you're going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And you kind of, you know, play it a little bit fast and loose, and you let players kind of go for some highlights, some frag movie-style plays, you know?
Yeah.
Astralis isn't going to do that. This is still Astralis, so they're just going to say, you know what? We have fun winning, and we're just going to play standard, fundamental, smart Counter-Strike, and we're just going to win no matter what. So no point in letting them get back into it, no point in letting it get close. Just handle your business and move on to the next day.
I believe games should be going live in just a couple of seconds. Moses, what about a smart cap? Could you have that?
Smart cap, like a
smart belt.
baseball cap.
Yeah, like a baseball cap.
Okay.
That's smart enabled.
What would it be, like like a screen on your hat that like gives information to other people?
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, but isn't that making the smart hat is for the benefit of the people around you versus you?
Yeah, what if it broadcasts all of your thoughts directly on there, like
yeah, because that's
LED
a good idea.
Oh, he wants. Oh my God, he does it. Glaive had the advantage. In Gratisfaction, almost looked like he was for a minute just sort of, you know, breathing himself up. He was, you know, taking a deep breath. Worked out just fine. That is the kind of kill you want. Now you've got a bit of a shot here. Minute and 30. I don't think Dick Stacy realizes how close they are. That could be scary.
Especially this kill on his Zipnix, just coming up the A ramp, able to take a duel. He knows the rotation away towards that B bomb site is going to give him the opening he wants. If he gets this one, it's round over. Already they're considering, he's going to burn, he's going to follow it up. And Zipnix might have just won the round, but here's Dick Stacy, only able to handle one, and Dupree putting Grayhound on notice. 2 swift headshots, and what can you really do about that?
He got the Molotov kill and the headshot on Catwalk. I mean, it happened so quickly for Zip.
And this, listen, Zipnix is known, I mean, I hate the terminology, but, you know, if we're going to call him it, the support player where, you know, you're not the one kind of initiating action. You're not the one creating amazing things until it gets to a clutch. And you can see this is what makes Astralis so dangerous. Down that entire lineup, everyone can create something if needed. And Zipnix just marching up A ramp does everything for Astralis.
That's so outrageous. I mean, that one kill in the beginning A is enough already. That's good enough. The rest of it, that's just a little bit too much to handle. Dupree does go down eventually. Playing around top mid. Seems like Dick and Malta are going to have a shot at defending this B-bomb site. They've got a bit of a crossfire setup. And they're going to make the work go first time around. Dick Stacy taking down Glaive. That's the beginning. A lot of damage. Followed up on Maggie's keys. Almost out of it.
Oh, that's a great nade, though. Doesn't do too much damage. There's the trade-off. Zipnix is up next, and he goes down. Triple kill from Dick Stacy, jumping for the AK. He does get it. And Device is left in a 1-on-4.
Yeah, almost impossible to get out of this one. The bomb is all the way up there, and he's got so many angles, as you can tell, and taking a step forward, not necessarily going to help him all that much. Fates will take him down. That's a triple kill for Dick Stacy, and that's the first round for Grayhound Gaming, so not bad at all. Just winning that fight in the middle against Dupree, and then, yeah, good setup in that B-bomb side.
I mean, I think the bigger thing is, you know, the pick-off in middle. You eliminate that. This round it was Dupree who's the only one there, and that's what we were just talking about a few rounds ago. Be the aggressors and at some point dictate where Astralis was going to go. Obviously, they choose to get aggressive towards B, and you've kind of got them trapped in a funnel with one more kill. Astralis has nowhere to go except to fight forward, and by then you cheat the rotations. We'll see if they get the benefit again of some early picks. And Glaive gonna lead the way. He's been able to get to this point multiple times with relative safety, but this time he doesn't have all the smokes over, and Gratisfaction with the AWP is gonna meet him. That might have caught Glaive off guard, dueling an AWP in that fashion.
Absolutely did. Another one coming in, that's Device down. Dupree's been with the AWP for Astralis over at the B side. Not really seeing any action, and there's another kill. Sip not going to be able to save them this time around. This is looking much better now for the CT side. And now it's all about saving the rifles. Make sure you come out with 4 or 5 alive in this one. Don't let Magus and Dupree just run wild with it.
Easier said than done, but certainly that is the goal. Preserve the economy from here on out. And you got to wonder how, I mean, hearing these footsteps, Grayhound trying to figure out exactly where the attack is going to come from, and that's what might pull him into the open. But great utility usage in these choke points, going to force Dupree out of any angle he wants to off. Smoke going to provide him some cover, same for his teammate on Catwalk. And he's going to peer into that A-bomb site. It's Dexter, who's got some trouble heading his way.
Oh, Dupree, I think he took a bullet through as well. Can shoot through the top of that box a little bit, so that's going to be annoying. Still waiting for it. Could even slightly see through some of it, so now it's a 1-on-5, in fact, and not even going to get any real damage in. Gratisfaction having a great round, triple kill overall. That's what we'd love to see. We all wish that it would have happened a bit earlier, you know?
Yeah.
Just that 4th round, that would have been the time to do it.
That round was a little bit helped out. Astralis playing way more individual. You could see, I mean, Gratisfaction, yeah, he had to spin around and get those 2 kills, but kind of every duel that was taken early on, even towards that A-ramp, I think it was Fates who got that kill, just 1-on-1 across the map. Missed Molotov from Dupree, that's awkward. And again, back to just an A execute as Astralis. They're kind of against the ropes in terms of their money. Plenty of rounds they've already gotten, though, so here we go. The aggression pop flash over. Glaive still gets it, and that's going to be tough to swallow for Dexter.
I was going to say, at the end of the game, that's the kind of round you remember where you just, come on, man. We did the right thing. We had it all timed out. Glaive got the kill anyway, and now playing close range here with the AWP. No chances for any mistakes. This has to work out. He's going to pick up one, but they're right around the corner, and they're actually not going to chase him down. He's still peeking with this AWP. One missed shot, and he's going to be dead, and you can see them playing with him. They line up for the kill, but it's not going to happen. Sip will take down Fates, and now it's all crumbling here at the bomb side. DreamHack and Malta left, and 2-on-3 as Malta gets the kill, but he can't really follow it up there. Malta now going to be all alone, 1 versus 3, and there's no reason why they have to fight him right now. Just leave him alone.
Yeah, nice fight selection from Device as well. Gets his attention as soon as he's fighting at him. He just falls away, and now he's going to finish it off. Second kill. Such a slow pressure applied to that A bomb site, and eventually Gratisfaction just gets nervous. I don't know if he thought maybe he pulled the trigger, he quick switches away. That gave him the opening they needed, because you could tell they had no utility. They were trying to bait out that one last shot to turn the corner, given a bit of a gift. 10-2. But Grayhound actually did a pretty good job in those 2 rounds they won of keeping players alive, so they had some cash to rebuy into this. There's the Molotov for the smoke, standing in front of it as well. No one appearing from Astralis.
I really like the way he's playing Gratisfaction. I just feel like he's playing an aggressive kind of AWPing against the best team in the world. I have to respect that. There are so many players that would be tempted to not do that. Somehow Devices managed to sneak into the A-bomb side. I don't know how Dexter gets that kill, but he does, and it's really great for them. Now looking a little bit better. Dexter does go down, but still a 4-on-3 here. If they just hold on and wait for the bomb, then they should be in a good spot.
Now here comes all the utility, though, from Astralis. They need to use this to cross over, and they're finding some kills. Dupree onto Gratisfaction. That's the AWP on the ground. Another Molotov. Fates is up next. They line up for it, and he only gets 1. Dick Stacy has arrived, and Dupree spots him out.
More flashbangs being exchanged. Dick Stacy with a grenade. It's not really going to do anything. Flashbang to try and see if Malta could maybe make the entry. The bomb has been planted just now, and he gets crossfired between Magisk and Dupree. You could tell that he wasn't really sure where he was going to get shot from, and Dick Stacy might be in for the exact same run. Tries for the headshot. Not going to make it work, and Astralis somehow turned around in their favor. 11-2, and that might be the back-breaking moment right there.
That's so cool from Astralis as well. Even though they lose that fight in mid, it was a pretty decent crossfire setup with the AWP in the window room and the M4 inside of connector. So Astralis tries to pick up the AWP, gets dropped by the M4, but the other 3 players from Astralis are using that knowledge. Even in a losing duel there, they say, all right, we've got 2 players. That means their A defense is going to be a little bit weaker. We can really kind of take advantage of that and slowly break their way into the bomb site. And here comes a timing peak from Gratisfaction, and it's obviously not gone well.
No, it didn't work out, but like I said, we've seen it so many times in the past, whether it's Astralis or some other team that's on top, when some of the lower tier teams end up playing against them, yeah, they actually play way worse than they could, because there's like that fear factor of playing someone who's at the top of the world rankings. And ooh, that's a great headshot on Dupree. I like the fact that some of the Grayhound players aren't really doing that. There's Dick Stacy taking down Glaive, and the pistols haven't really worked out for them before. They do this time. Fates again with a kill. Make it a triple for him in the round. That's a miracle, and now it's just Sip left. 1 versus 3 and low on health.
There's no way that Zipnix is able to do this. That would be incredible. 7 HP, 1 low HP player. They could line up for him. They do. And Fates had low health, so almost put Zipnix in a position to have a 1-on-1, but there was a flank coming in. It would have been tough. Great round from Fates. 2 kills with the Deagle, the recovery with the AK-47 for 2 more. That's well done.
Yeah, they needed that desperately, just to have that buffer. Hope you win the pistol round. Hope you can roll it into something. And again, they're playing with a admittedly professional stand-in, still a stand-in. So
yes.
So we need to think about that as well in terms of playing the CT side, usually being a bit more difficult. Maybe they could do more on the T side. Roll Dick Stacy into one of those bomb sites and just make it work.
Yeah, he'll lead the way. Gratisfaction again, right around the edge of that smoke. Blinded. He's going to go for more. The flick is almost there. Yeah, you do like to see, finally towards the end of this half, getting some assertiveness, but equally Astralis is just like, you know what? we're going to come out of Palace, and we're going to send a lot of bodies there, and poor Dexter is made to look silly just by virtue of there's no one to really help him out, and so much attention being bought by Glaive in middle. And he's just delay tactics, just buying time. Look how many people are chasing after him. 3 people in mid to just find 1 UMP.
Yeah, they get the kill. That's great, but they've given all of the bomb side, allowed Stiff to get this far in, so that's a heavy price to play to get that UMP off of Glaive, really. And that's going to be the end of the round. 12-3 in favor of Astralis, and we are going to go... Oh, we're not going to go to Stunner after all.
We were going to.
Yeah, but apparently he was missing his Crocs, so he couldn't be on camera after all. I was excited for it as well.
I was too.
Do you think he's got like? Did they make like camo Crocs? Is that a thing?
I'm sure they have camo Crocs.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
All right.
I don't know if he's that cheesy. I don't know if he would do that.
All right.
I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. Well, I will do some investigation. We'll figure it out at some point. I still think there's something there. I think it could work. We're in 2018, Moses. It's been a strange year.
Yeah, it has been.
It can only get better, really.
You'd think so. We'll find a way. Fate's the stand-in, 13 kills for Grayhound Gaming. On the other side, it's Zipnix leading the way, 17-7. But everyone doing good over there. Actually, it's Device who's down at 6-10. So, you know, not coming alive quite yet in this event.
No.
You worried at all? Does that scare you?
Not in the least, but I did make a crazy prediction. I felt like I had to.
Does seem to be your thing.
I don't know if it's not maybe that crazy, but I just wanted to see FaZe win the Grand Slam, so I had to pick them to win this tournament.
Okay.
So
I think that could be cool. I kind of want to see someone with the denial, and it's not any ill will towards FaZe. It could have been anyone that with coming in here with 3 wins. I would just like to see them get to the final and then not win it.
But no ill will.
Yeah, no ill will.
But you
could have been anybody.
If somebody cried when it happened, you'd still be all right with you.
Oh, it'd be phenomenal, especially if it was Astralis. I'd love to see that. Because you'd cry too.
Just a little bit. Oh, Glaive sneaking in, getting the kill on Fates. That's a big one. And Magisk, if he can hold the line, there's going to be trouble. Instant headshot. He will get taken down, but they've still got a good lock on this, and Dupree just has to play it smart. Wait for the backup to be there. He's going to go down to Malta, who seems to be really good at hitting some of these pistol shots. The bomb is down now. They will have taken care of him in the meantime. Still a 2-on-3. It's a P250 long range for Dexter. That might be exactly what they need, although Glaive, he snuck in that kill at the beginning of the round. He might just do it again. He does get caught. I don't know if Gratisfaction saw that, but he did coming out, and they're going to get one more kill. Dexter goes down. It's all on Gratisfaction trying to stop the bomb. Defuse it right in front, and they're going to get the headshot. They should have maybe, I think, just enough time for it. Device getting the last headshot in there, and yeah, they're going to be able to get a bit more time than I thought they had, actually, so last second.
Yes. I forgot about that. The birthday confetti for Counter-Strike's birthday.
I forgot about that too, Moses. Entirely.
That actually makes me so happy. I put a big smile on my face. Yeah, that was a nice retake from Astralis. There needs to be, I mean, there kind of was a little bit from Grayhound. There's that timing where you can notice those 2 players, it was what, Zipnix and Device, who were playing super passively while Glaive was flanking.
Yes.
When they're just kind of, you can tell they're buying for time when you're in that situation. You have to know at that point, something in your head has to be someone's flanking. Now, you can't always do anything about it. They did spin and were able to spot it out. Not really able to neutralize it, but nicely done from Astralis, buying time for the flank to come to fruition from Glaive, who had low HP. It's really all he had to do. This is going to be an easy mop-up, as the plant is going to, allow Grayhound to get those AK-47s in a desperate situation. It's all they can really hope for is to win this next round.
Yeah, really playing the game on hard mode right now, Grayhound Gaming. Losing both the pistols, only getting the 3 rounds in the first half. This is a little bit rough, isn't it?
That's not been the best of times for them. It's okay. We'll see what they got on the T side. Like you said, sometimes with that stand-in as well, it's definitely going to be easier for them to coordinate here. They're just going to have to, we'll just see how many they can rack up. 3-14. Here comes the utility. Zipnix pushing all the way up with the UMP. Gets shut down. Like the effort, but not a whole lot of tools to do it. Pop flash coming in, allows for the peek, and actually good trade in the favor of Grayhound. Nice nade work on towards Dick Stacy and damage, so he's softened up to find the equalizer later on.
That's the kind of beginning they wanted in a round like this. Very mid-centric right now for them.
Yeah, and it's well fought and well gained control of mid from Grayhound, even with the damage and the loss of Gratisfaction. The tough part is now Dupree on this flank, and I think he's going to read this and slow down. I think maybe Astralis is wise to this because it's quiet across the map. He's going to keep pushing forward anyways, but he's definitely aware it's possible they're watching the flank. They spotted him out. He goes for the repeak. Thought he might have played that a little bit differently, but a great find, a great call from Grayhound, and just the poise to just wait across the map.
It's what we were praising Astralis for when they were on the other side. We said it's always a good thing if you have the time to slow it down. And Dupree, a little bit too curious.
It's also usually, I mean, the reason why it's so cool and a good thing to praise for Grayhound is because it's usually the inexperienced teams who, like, there is weird times in Counter-Strike where doing nothing is the best option. So it's cool to see teams just hit pause like that.
Glaive winning that second fight. They're so close, but it's falling apart due to one man. They had a flashbang, but they didn't really make it work. And now Device, the crossfire, taking down Dick Stacy, leaving Walter alone. 20 seconds, and Glaive will take that round right back.
Now, this is why inexperienced teams don't do that, because you get into that situation where you do everything right. You have a 4-on-2, you hit the pause button, and everyone kind of groups up after that much of an advantage, and you give Glaive 3 different one-on-ones. This is just too easy. There needs to be a trade here, and this is where after the game there's going to be a conversation, and someone's going to say, why did we wait so long that round? Why didn't we just take advantage of the fact that we got those kills so early on and go somewhere? But everything was right until you execute that play up catwalk from Grayhound.
I mean, Glaive did peak right when the flashbang was in the air, so the teammate on the other side was sort of halfway looking away. The timing was godlike. Still, they are in deep trouble. 15-3, the flashbang is great, and Dick Stacy will pick up the 1 kill with the Galil. A lot of trouble here for Gratisfaction, and somehow he's still alive. The pistol eventually going to run him down, and now it's a 2-on-4, and it is pretty much all over. Fate is the last to go down.